Hey everyone, and welcome back to a new video. Today we have a brand new update to CSGO, which changes of course some aspects of the game, but we also have a new set of capsules for the regional major ranking events for 2020. Because there was nothing really that was a major in 2020, Valve decided to still bring out capsules with brand new stickers of teams that played in 2020, which is why we also see some very interesting things and also some new stuff we were not expecting today. We will go into the stickers and price discussion and everything after a short break, because first I actually want to take a look at the game. Who would think that? And then we take a bigger picture in the end at the teams and especially of course what's coming next in 2021. So let's talk about the updates. And the very first update we actually need to look at is the changes in bot behavior. We didn't talk about this previously on this channel because I didn't think it was that much of a deal, because I just don't play competitive for Wingman right now. And it is that since January 7th, Valve actually removed bots that were replacing players that were kicked or disconnecting in the match of competitive Wingman. Which means, of course, what was usually happening is that when you were in the silver lobby of competitive, the lowest ranked player would usually be kicked, so he could be replaced with a bot. And the better players of that match then could take over the bot to have a second chance, basically, at winning the round. Sort of a standard practice, I guess. Now, Valve wanted to combat that toxic behavior and, of course, remove the bots, which I think is a bit, too much, but okay. And now, 20 days later, on January 27th, they changed it. So we have now actually a more advantage, I guess, for the players. What basically happens is if a player gets kicked or disconnected, they still won't be replaced with a bot. That still changes. There's no replacement. In competitive and Wingman, if your team has fewer players than the opposing team for 3 or more consecutive rounds in the half, each of your team members will receive a $1,000 short-handed loser incoming following a round loss. This does not apply in cases where a player was kicked. So the big change is if a user gets disconnected and stays disconnected, so he can't come back, there still won't be a bot, but at least after 3 rounds where they still lose in a row, the underhanded team that's missing a player will now get a $1,000 bonus at the end of a round for each player, meaning basically they can get very quickly, of course, the money advantage in a match and then buy better weapons and hopefully even, turn it around. It probably doesn't help that it's still a 5 versus 4 game, and no matter how many weapons you can buy and stuff like that, it's still a very huge disadvantage, especially after 3 rounds lost already, which is then boosted, of course, by the loss bonus in the game plus the additional $1,000. I don't know if it really makes a difference, because if one player disconnects, there's usually also another one that says, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna take the cooldown, and they're gonna leave the match. But what's interesting is if you kick a person, you won't even get that bonus. So it really is only happening when a player disconnects because of internet connection problems, for example, then the $1,000 bonus will be given out. After, as it says here, 3 consecutive round losses. What's also cool is that the match will have a 2-minute technical timeout that will be automatically initiated the first time a teammate disconnects. The timeout will end early if the teammate abandons or reconnects to the match, which basically is something that they could have done since the very start of the game. If a player just has a disconnect, that stuff sadly happens, and then they can very easily reconnect again, thankfully. And for that time, we usually always had to, spend our one extended break that we could use in regular matchmaking. In other systems, you can have, of course, longer breaks or even a pause, like in ESEA. And now at least you have automatically a 2-minute timeout where it says, hey, we lost the man, we need to wait a few minutes, 2 exactly, to have a reconnect. And as it says here also, if the player then completely abandons, so actively goes into the match and says, hey, I'm not going to reconnect, the break will be over, and then it just continues the match. Interesting enough though, how does it work with the money system there? If a player willingly abandons because of a disconnect, for example, does the money bonus come in still, or if it does not actually? That's something we need to inspect maybe. And the third thing that's changed in gameplay is if you ping a location, it will actually show now the ping location, which is actually thanked here to Basterts TV, which probably suggested that change. So if we jump into in-game, we can see how that looks like. Let's just quickly jump into an offline match here. Competitive, no bots on. Let's say there's 2. I personally think the pinging system was something that was really underused so far. And hey, there was even some issues in the beginning where you could abuse it because, you know, the ping was staying sort of active even if you were behind a wall. That was fixed in the meantime since they released the ping system with the release of Operation Broken Fang at the beginning of December. Alright, so I'm just gonna jump in here, quickly start my practice route, and now the match has been restarted. And what you can see now is when I ping here, for example, I want to say, hey, there's a player down there in the, I don't know where. Just ping it and actually says here on the text upper tunnel. They also changed how long the ping stays on the map, which is very interesting. So if T-start here and it actually stays, and something in case I didn't know, if you are further away, then the ping will go away. So you can ping actually here important. Mine was actually already on a cooldown. And if there's not a direct line of sight, or if you move around, you will actually lose the ping. So that's what I meant when they changed the ping already. Let's say, okay, there's somebody here in Sniper's Nest. It's currently only shown as bomb site B, and because if they were far away as well, it also won't stay for as long here. But at least the team knows, for example, in that moment there is a player here or there. Would be cool if Valve would actually update the thingy. It's also weird that if I look directly at it, it doesn't show anymore. So if I look directly at it, it vanishes. Actually, that's probably because if there's a player exactly behind your marking, you can actually look through him and won't be distracted because of the ping that's there. So I guess that's a good thing actually in the end. And everyone else can consider, who with the ping? There is the ping. And then you can shoot, for example. So that's actually a very useful thing, at least for people that start a game for basically nothing. If they don't know any callouts, they can just use the ping system, say like, oh, there is somebody here. And in that case, well, the color really doesn't help here. It's almost invisible at that location. But oh well. You can, of course, I think, change the color and the size of the ping, I think, in the settings. So yellow definitely does not work great here on Dust 2, but maybe green would. And yeah, you would hope that these locations will be a bit more specific, like you have literally goose here, but it's of course the same as the map says here. So if the map says bomb site A, the ping will also say bomb site A. If you walk over here, for example, to short, we have short stairs. And as soon as it changes around, that's catwalk here already. So at least that works. So it's a great addition for new players, definitely, of the game. There's also a great change that happened here with Danger Zone, and that is that they added a client convar to control automatic parachute behavior. You can set CL_parachute_auto deploy 0 to disable the automatic parachute activation. So you have it in your control when you want to activate the parachute, which is nice. Small feature, but definitely a big change in the gameplay if you know how to use that. And other than that, in this update we have just changes to Elysium, which, well, while it's a potentially great map, still very underplayed. Oh well, good job still that the map gets updates. Let's talk though about the big thing everyone wants to talk about, the RMR Sticker Capsules, the regional major ranking events that were happening in 2020. Fully online, like Blast, we had, of course, DreamHack happening, CS Summit, all of these events, of course, you know, where basically to find best players per event or tournament, and then they also will get these so-called RMR points. These RMR points are then used to categorize teams, of course, in different sections, and then when the major comes around, they also determine the placements and starts of those teams. With that, there's also capsules, in case you don't know, and we have always 3 different kinds of capsules. We have first the legends, basically the best players of those complete overall events with the most points. We have the challengers in a sort of second row, and then we have, of course, the contenders, which are coming from more regional minor rankings. But with also these stickers and changes, we also have updates to majors in general. So the next major we know of course, is the one in Stockholm. So in Sweden, hosted by PGL, coming around October 23rd to November 7th. With the hope being, of course, that all the players and all the organizers and everyone that's attending the event has already access to a vaccine, and even without, there's still ways how you can attend the event, hopefully. It will be, of course, also streamed brand new in 4K, 60 FPS. And of course, within 24 teams, they will battle for their share of the $2 million prize pool. So that's that for now. Quick shout out to a good pal of mine, Bastert, who is a very creative person. You should definitely follow him on Twitter, link is down below. He made some artworks and designs how possibly, for example, a PGL Major sticker could look like here, for example, for Astralis in that version, or alternatively in this version, which should be animated, but right now it isn't. Personally, I am a fan of these because they are rather simplistic in an idea, but they definitely show the team colors. They definitely are very good for crafting, I think. So moving back to what we know now more about majors, besides of course the data and everything. The capsules that we have represent the teams that would have received invitations to the 2024 major, which would have been in Rio. As we also know about the Rio one, of course it has been delayed once from March to November and then completely of course discontinued until further notice, but we know also additionally that it's still going to happen. The tickets are not invalid. You can still use them once there's a new date for the Rio Major coming around. So that's good. The complete RMR results are seen as here. The following are the organizations, points and statuses of teams at the time of the 2024 major invites would have been determined. So Valve always has a cutoff point where they say, hey, this is the setup of teams. These have all the best points and that's how we're gonna organize them. So in Europe, we have 3 teams. We have Vitality, Heroic, and the Ninjas in Pajamas, which were the legends. Underneath we have Astralis, Big, Fnatic, G2, OG, Godsend, and then as contender we have FaZe and North. All of these teams were at the point of the fall major the best teams, of course, all around, regardless of what happened then at the end in December with the Blast, I think, Winter Series, and now, of course, with January, where we had the Blast Global Premiere, or Global Final, sorry, that was happening. These events are not counted in, of course, with that. That's also why we have in North America, very interesting thing coming up. Well, first off, we have the CIS, of course, where Spirit is number 1, Natus Vincere or Navi is, of course, number 2, with the Legend status here, just by a few points, with Nemiga as the challenger, Virtus Pro and Espada as the contenders. Moving on to CIS, we have, of course, Spirit and Navi here as Legend status, with Nemiga as challenger and Virtus Pro and Espada as contender status. In North America, very interesting, of course, we have Evil Geniuses, 100Vs and Furia as legends, though 100Vs does not have a CSGO team right now. They were actually let go probably around the time, I think, when the major should have happened. We have Team Liquid, of course, as challenger and JNG here as contender. South America has Team Boom. Oceania has the Renegades from Australia, which I already made a video about them partially because we talked about Greyhound, and the old Greyhound team is now located within the Renegades organization. And for Asia, we of course have Tyloo. So these are all the teams as they were placed, which would have been invited to the major in Rio. And that of course would have been the sort of organizations that were representing here then in the current RMR capsule. So if there would have been a Rio Major, this is the capsules that were coming around with them, and they would have been the official Rio capsules, but well, they're just now the RMR 2020 capsules to still support the organization. Well, of course, get some new money for new capsules and stickers, and everyone's a little bit happy regardless of that. Moving on, there's also, of course, the coaching integrity thing. We have seen already, lots of coaches since 2016 abusing that sort of spectator work. So in case you don't know what about that, there's lots of videos out there. The basic grab is that it happens sometimes that your spectator camera would have been stuck in a position, for example, let's say on Mirage on top of middle, and your coach could be stuck there and be used as a sort of 6th person. So if a team runs down long to B, rushes B, the coach could still call out, because the camera was stuck in middle, what's happening in middle? How many people are coming over to short, for example, on Mirage, specifically, for example, and so many other things. And there were a lot of coaches getting partially temporary bans from a few months up to 2 years. Now, there's of course changes also coming, because people were abusing, in a way, live streams. Because people were literally stream sniping in the organization. So you say you have a match of Team A and Team B, and in the corner there will be the coach that actually has the live stream on and would watch what the other team could do, which is of course highly uncompetitive, basically cheating in the end. And also now this leads to the changes that we have today. So in September of 2020, we were alerted to the fact that many professional coaches were exploiting a coaching feature bug to gain an unfair advantages during matches. You can read about it, about the initial response here. The ESIC, of course, made a very lengthy thing about that. As I said here, since then, the ESIC has published the findings of the investigation and the resulting sanctions. You can read about them here. Everything is linked, of course, down below. As our Valve's follow-up, we've decided that coaches that exploited the camera bug will be ineligible to participate in some number of future Valve-sponsored events, that number to be determined by the extent of the abuse. And here we have the list. So the following table says, If you did only once that coach bug, you're actually exempt in a way. But if you did it twice, you're going to miss 1 major. If you did 3 times, you're going to miss 2, 4, 3. If you did it 5 times, you're actually going to miss the next 5 majors, and they're not that many in a year, maybe 1 or 2. And if you did 6 or more of these coach bug abuses, basically, you're not going to happen to be at a major again, because you're actually going to be ineligible for any major. Basically, whoever did that can switch to Valorant now. And as they say here, in addition to consequences for individuals, we have also thought about how commonly coaches exploited the bug, for how long it went unreported, as well as how common coach stream sniping accusations have been. To avoid the diminished integrity of coaching from casting a shadow on the integrity of Valve-sponsored events, we will change in the restrictions on support staff in the following way. This is a big thing. During online matches, only players are allowed in the room and on the server. Say you have still online matches happening as of right now. There's only the actual players that play on the servers allowed in one room, because well, they can of course talk together. But everyone else, support, cameraman, coach, even the exchange players, they're not allowed in the same room anymore. That's a big thing. And same goes also for the server. Basically, they made it so coaches are not allowed to use the coach feature anymore on the server. Neither coaches nor any other team staff will be allowed in the room, as it says here, on the server, or to otherwise communicate with the team during an online match. Everyone has the same rules. There's teams, of course, where we have extra players, where they get switched out between rounds or maps rather, and what happens to them? Are they allowed to be in the same room, not to be part of the conversation but still watch over them like a coach would if they were there? Or do they have to also leave the room, be completely outside of everything, not even allowed to watch the stream, and then come back and then play the match? That's interesting in regards to what happens to those, extra players. But regardless, overall coaching has been basically banned from all online events so far. In offline events, so the actual majors on LAN, they're still allowed, so this is only happening for online matches. Okay, and now let's take a look at the stickers and of course the market right now. That's very interesting. Now a new capsule comes out, and we always had, of course, Operation Broken fan cases here sitting at around 80 cents, sometimes going down to 70. Currently, Operation Broken fan cases are basically crashing because everyone that held on to them from the free stars, they're just frantically selling them in order to get money for the new capsules, trying to get gold stickers and bringing them out there. So that's the one big change I wanted to point out right now. Lots of movement happening here with the Operation Broken fan case. Very cheap right now, maybe worth picking up, but remember, it's an operation case. There could still be a sale around the end of the operation where they get even cheaper here. Though it's not bad. We definitely also see which organization has the most, of course, demand, because they have a lot of movement right now for the Navi stickers here. We have, of course, the holo, the non-holo version, then also we have the gold stickers. And the gold stickers are, of course, part of the Legends pack here. So right now, all of these capsules are being sold for 85 cents directly inside of CSGO, but you can also get them, of course, from the market. You don't need a key to open them, so it's literally just pay 85 cents and get a sticker for that. And that cheap price, maybe even a good chance to make some profit off that. I certainly have bought myself a few capsules and one extra of each of these threes that I'm gonna open in just a minute. But before that, let's take a quick look at some of these in-game and how they actually look. And also, of course, additionally, we have now the 3 categories here to filter them out. The biggest thing, of course, on the gold stickers here of all of these 8 organizations that are part here. And of course, starting here with the challengers for around 42 euros right now, we have Astralis, then we have G2, Liquid, Fnatic, Big, Godsend, OG, and as last place, Nemiga. For the contenders, basically the smaller starters, which are usually also the less interesting stickers, we have Tyloo here for the Asian scene, which actually is the second highest gold sticker right now on display. As more come out, of course, the price will fall, but currently for 63 euros, Tyloo gold sticker is a thing. Then we have FaZe, Virtus Pro, Boom, Renegades, North, Genji, and Espada. And of course, the highest traded ones are the Legends, as we can see here. And of course, Navi here having the highest price. Already the gold sticker is down to 70 euros. It started with 40 right when the sticker released. It went up to around 190. 100 or 90 euros, let's say like that. It's not 190, so 100, between 100 and 90. And then we have also the other teams like Furia, Vitality, Spirit, 100 Thieves, Ninjas in Pajamas, Heroic, and Evo Geniuses. Let's take a look in-game at them and see how they look like there. So as we are here, as I said, I have one of each, which I actually am gonna open. Let's take a look first at actually the contenders here. See, of course, there is 8 organizations in 3 different versions. We have the non-holos, which is basically just the standard sticker, as we take a look here at face. Not reflective, but I have to say though, good crafting material probably for cheap, because they are so easy to distinguish. Very simple colors, and I think if you scratch them, the organization logo will stay behind, and only the bars here, or the sun basically, with the ocean, which actually is a great theme for Re, if I think about it, that's going away when you scratch those stickers. Of course, North here, quite fun with the lion, which is Pro, Espada, Genji, Boom, Renegades, and of course Tyloo. Tyloo basically being the little Law's cousin. You know, the Dragon Law sticker is a thing, of course, next to the patch, graffiti, and the gun. But also we have this dragon here, and I personally think this is a very nice alternative if you want to make a nice craft on a Red Lion AK, for example. Now, if you take a look at the holo versions, actually, those are great. Look at them. The face logo here, very nice red with a nice pattern. I personally think the Tyloo is the best one here from all the holos. I mean, look at those glowing. I mean, look at those glowing eyes. Fantastic idea. And then, of course, we have the foil versions. Oh, it's actually 4 versions, right? There's the standard one, paper. We have the holo, we have the foil, and the gold version. So there's 8 teams, 4 versions of the stickers. And, of course, that spreads out the chances for the one sticker you want very far from each other. I don't like also this Renegades one. Rather orange themed. Would maybe go very well on an Asimov gun. But yeah, we also have the foil versions. I'm very sorry, I almost forgot about these. And the foil versions we've already seen are basically almost indistinguishable from some of the holos. I mean, here with the face one, of course, the big red F is very clearly different from the holo version. But some other stickers, for example, are much more closer to the holo version. Just like this one, for example. Personally think the holo is better, but the foil currently is actually more expensive right now. It's going to be interesting how the prices develop over the next few days. Let's take a look, of course, also at some of the gold stickers here in this capsule. And, of course, maybe the best one overall, I personally think, as we've seen already, is the second highest ranked right now on the market, the gold Tyloo sticker. Alright, I said I'm going to open one, so let's do it. Let's waste some 80 cents. It's not like with a case where we spend €2.20 for a key plus the case price, so I don't even feel that bad about it. Let's see what we get. And this is going to be a gold. Ah, okay. It's the North sticker in standard. It's a very nice blue. I wonder what is currently priced right now. Yeah, this doesn't even update my inventory. I'm gonna take a look later at the price. I'm just gonna put it into the video. Let's take a look at the challenges, which we'll be seeing. Of course, we have here Astrados in very bright red. No matter which version you have, I think this is a great crafting sticker. You can see it here, especially in the holo version. Holo versions have so great patterns here. I personally like it. And of course, also here, the foil one and the non-foil one are great base colors. So you can really make your guns look the way you want, I feel like. Personally, also a big fan of the Fnatic one. I mean, look at this. Haven't really seen much of Fnatic playing on the servers, but the stickers are still dope. And of course, one of the more cool ones, I think, is the Godsend one. Whenever I see a mate that actually just collects Godsend sticker crafts, I get why. It's a very cool yellow. There's some very cool yellow skins in the game, and this one, certainly a good addition to his collection, I feel like. Regardless, of course, we also have here the gold versions. I mean, look at that one. That looks very funky because there's a lack of colors here with the eye in the center. And of course, we have my favorite team. You know, the Germans. I'm German, so of course I'm supporting my Berlin in-gaming homies here. Big Red is actually looking like a gold medal compared to all the others. This round logo, that's definitely something special. One other cool thing I think is the liquid fall here. It's not that special, but it very has a good thing going for it with the shield. So I feel like, let's be lucky, let's open the capsule and get that gold big sticker. And what we're gonna get is... oh, the Godsend. Okay. That's a nice one. It's not hollow fall or anything. It's just a standard Godsend, but it's a nice one, as I said already, so I dig it. Last but not least, let's take a look at the Legends capsule, which we have here. And that one has the actually most interesting, the nib, as we see in standard here, black and gold already. Not even that what they had presented previously in the video. And this is basically the dark mode version, where all of the black thing has the pattern in the background, which you've already seen. And then we take a look at the foil version. And basically this is the inverted colors. You know, the outlines here all gold and the center is dark. And it's so close to what we've seen here already in the standard one. You can almost not see the difference at all. Then here the gold version. The gold version is actually the inverted one, so the inside is gold and the outside lines are dark. That's actually the inverted one, I'm very sorry. Again, confused a little bit, but he's got the spirit. And what, of course, I would really like is that gold Navi sticker, which is probably going for past 200 euros in a year's time. I bet. Should probably buy like a few of them just in the market right now. But, oh well. Kinda also a fan of that Vitality one. Very nice. Still going with the yellow here, even in the fall version, so that's very cool. And I think, again, the craziest one that the 100 views have won, it's also kind of cool. So, despite not having a team right now, it's very cool they still have a sticker here, despite ever attending a major. And I feel especially this hollow one, yeah, that's kind of funky. Alright, let's spend another 80 cents and see what we're gonna get. What we're gonna get is... wow, 3 EGs in a row of the standard one. Yeah, it's probably the most boring sticker currently. So yeah, we have all of these frees. I got some more, but they're gonna stay in the bank a little. And yeah, and that's basically it. That's it for today's update. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got a lot of information out of it. Some fun, as I said before. There's great opportunities to profit from it right now. Usually there's a sale of stickers and capsules. But since there's no end of a major, because this is not a major, we don't know for how long these capsules are going to stick around. I would bet they would be maximum around until the actual PGL Major in October starts. And until then, maybe they're just going to be here in the store. Maybe they're going to take them out suddenly without any warning and without even a sale. So I don't know, man, because they're already that cheap. As I said, grabbed already like 10 of each. I'm just going to put it in my storage and wait what happens with them. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, guys. My name is Hostis here for Weapon of Noise. And I hope I see you in a new video soon. The next video will actually be a map review again, so it's going to be a fun CSGO theme video yet again. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.